Hello, everyone, and welcome to the mail call for August of 2017 in September. And wow, another very busy month here on the Rancho, and mainly because of the final of the three parts surgeries that I had. As many of you know, I had a Brazilian butt lift done on March 1st. I had a breast augmentation done on April 3rd, and then on August 28th, the final of the three package I bought, the belly, what they call the bikini tuck here. So I am so glad that all that is over, but obviously that really dominated the news. Now I'm using a new kind of program here that instead of having to copy and paste questions and then put them onto a piece of paper, it puts them onto a web page for me so I can just mail it to myself. So here we go. Welcome to part one of the mail call, and as I say, it was a very, very busy month. Now this is very apropos. I'm recording this on September 1st. Now this is very apropos to what happened last night when I almost called 911. Gail says, shouldn't you have stayed in bed? Saw you doing cooking hangout the day after surgery. You are nuts. Well, it wasn't the day after surgery, but it was a couple days after surgery. And yes, I think I paid a price for that. I had surgery on Monday. On Wednesday, I did a hangout from the workshop. And then Thursday I did a 3-hour putting up Italian sauce. So yeah, not my smartest move. And overnight on Thursday night into Friday morning, wow, did the pain, I guess the last of the local anesthesia wore off. Man, the pain level was just intense. But I'm happy to say, okay, my lesson is learned. All right, so let's go. This thing keeps cutting out here. Number two. All right, your shape is perfect now, and the bikini tuck actually made the butt better because I think it made more of a profile view of having some butt and pulled into the front. Though I don't know how. Please tell me how the fat was done to the face, as I am unclear. Way back in March when I had the Brazilian butt lift done, I had an excess of fat that was harvested from my stomach area here, and some of that was frozen, and that can keep up to a year. So I knew when I wanted to go back and get my tuck done to tighten up the skin in there after the Brazilian butt lift when the fat was removed, that I would also want to take time to have some of that fat injected into my face. And so what they do is sterilize that. They draw a little bit of your blood, they mix it with it, and a little bit of what they call stem cell material, and they inject that into your face in strategic place. I used to have hollow under the eyes and things. It filled that all in, and all the the side, and made the face definitely more feminine. So that's how that worked. That's why I have some bruising. It's kind of covered by the makeup right now. So good question. So that's how they did that. Part three. I laughed at the Cabbage Patch doll thing, as I haven't heard that for 20 years. Your face did look funny. How painful was the facial feminization work? Not as painful as the bikini tuck for sure, but anytime they're putting a series of 6 or 7 small needles in to put lidocaine in to kill the pain, then they're following with larger needles injecting, and you can feel it. This is all wide awake procedures. You can feel that moving along through the skin, and it's a weird sensation. But the pain level of that wasn't really too bad. The Cabbage Patch refers to your eyes are all closed up and everything, and you kind of look like a little Cabbage Patch doll. Yeah, I don't think they've been around for like 20 years. Here's the fourth one. I have to laugh at this one. This person says, What will the trolls find to pick on next? I mean, no kidding. now, now that the belly is fixed, I mean, they're talking about YouTube trolls, and by and large, people were pretty nice on YouTube. I would say about 95% of the comments are positive because, well, I'm not a hellraiser on YouTube. I kind of mind my own business and do my own thing. So the trolls kind of leave me alone, and that's a good thing. But they'll always find your weak spot and kind of get in there and try to pry on that a little bit. But as I always said, everybody uses YouTube for their own purposes. Let's see, here's the next one. Looking much younger than you are is great and all, but remember, you're almost a senior citizen now. You're almost a senior citizen now. I even grant you that you are sexually attractive and I am a woman, but how is your real health beyond the surface? You never talk about that. Very true. I usually don't ever talk about my health because, knock on wood, I really don't have any health problems per se. I've always kept my weight under control within a fairly tight range. I don't have any blood pressure issues. It usually runs 140 to, anywhere from 128 to 140 over 50 or 60, somewhere in there. Blood pressure tends to run low in my family. I don't have any cholesterol issues, but the only thing I have is, I think, a little tinge of arthritis now and then, but it's all very manageable, and I'm very grateful that I do enjoy good health. So it does make me feel 20 years younger than my age, but let's not fool ourselves. Rosie ain't no spring chicken. All right, here we go. Let's get on to the next one now. Won't you have a scar from the bikini tucking? There will be a very fine line across here, and they have some new material, a new silicone material for scar management. We'll see how that works. But I guess my intention would be maybe to get a little line of roses or something across there, or just live with it, depending on how it is. And I mean, I'm not much to really think too much about that. As long as I got the the stomach all flat now and don't have that those rolls and those flab that would pop up, I'm pretty happy. I've achieved all the objectives I wanted to do this summer, thus treating myself to a retirement package and preparing for the rest of my days. So I'm really happy. So we'll deal with the scar when the time comes. I'm not sure how big it's going to be because it's such a fine line these days, and the stitching is done a lot internally. How long did the tummy tuck and facial work take, and how long were you under? Well, this is going to blow people away. My surgeries were done under local anesthesia, okay? That means when they sliced in here and pulled the skin together, removed a big chunk of skin, and pulled the skin together, that's all done under a local anesthesia. It's amazing what they can do. I'm not saying you don't feel anything because you're wide awake. You feel all the sensations of pulling and needles moving in your face. The whole procedure took about 2.5 hours, I believe. About 3 hours if you count the time that blood had to be drawn for the protein enrichment for the facial injections. And remember, that's my fat, so that will actually stay there. 70-80% of that will live and stay rooted there, and that is really part of myself just relocated. Very interesting questions for part 1 of the August mail call in September. Stay tuned for part 2. Thank you, everyone.